Welcome back. So today's video is on the new Maybelline The Nudes palette. Now, I have had kind of a hard time finding this in stores. I was able to purchase it on Ulta, so I'll be sure to link that below so that you guys can also check it out. Now, the cool thing about this palette, and I think it's great that a drugstore company has finally come out with an actual palette, something more than a quad or a trio. And the concept behind this palette is actually kind of interesting. So if you turn it over, it gives you how you can use these shadows to work together. And it says that you can use them in quads, and it gives you a diagram as to what to put the colors where. And then it says trios, and it also gives you the same diagram, and then of course duos, depending on how dramatic or how in-depth you want to be with your eye look. I did use the palette today for this smoked out neutral look, and I have to say I had a lot of fun doing this look. As far as the shadows are concerned, there are some hits, there are some misses, but I will swatch what I have on my eyes today. Let me give you a close view of what the shadows are, and they're, like I said, it's called the Nudes palette, so obviously most of these shadows are going to be on the nude side. What I have on my lids right now, this is what I have on my lid, and unfortunately they don't have names, but so this is the all over shade that I have on my lid, and it's just this beautiful copper color. Absolutely gorgeous, really pigmented. This was really easy to work with. I had no problems with it. In my crease, I used this matte color, well, maybe it's a pearl, I don't know. No, this one is a matte. So I used this really kind of cool gray matte shade along with this taupe. And so this is what I have in my crease, and then I did buff it out with this fourth color, which is also another just taupey brown matte. So this was the only one that had a little bit of a sheen to it. The other three are pretty matte. Now they were pretty consistent on giving you both matte and shimmer, and then there's a couple of pearls. I wouldn't call them like shimmer, but I will call them a pearl. There are some shades that are just more pigmented than others, and definitely the ones with the sheen come across the most pigmented. As you can see from the picture, using a primer helps with these shadows. They're a little bit more intense than without a primer, and they pop a little bit more. But I will go ahead and tell you which shades are the ones that I like to work with. There's this beautiful gold in this middle quad. It's really pigmented. It was one of the more pigmented colors in this palette, which makes it really, really easy to work with. I also like the really pretty chocolate brown that's next to it in the palette. I think these two colors are really, really pretty. Yes, they're both shimmer, so you do have to work with them a little bit. The one color I was not a huge fan of is this pearly, chalky, white, flaky color with a little shimmer. Not my favorite. Like I said, there are some definite hits, there are some definite misses. Most of them are pretty easy to work with and pigmented. I didn't have too many problems, but you know, it is a drugstore palette. If you're looking to have the same quality as an Urban Decay or a Lorac Pro 2 palette, not gonna happen. Although a couple of these shades do have the creaminess of what you would find on a Lorac Pro palette. Not all of them, but a couple of them. So it's not a terrible palette. They do need to improve on some of their lighter shades because they're too sheer. Some of the darker shades are definitely a little more opaque and easy. I mean, it is an easy palette to work with, so I can't really complain about the blendability. And they are like really pretty neutral colors, so that you could use this every day. But for the price, it's a good deal. For the price, you can't beat the 16 eyeshadows that you get, because you're not paying $20, $30 for it. I got this for $12. So extremely reasonable if you are on a budget and looking for a nice nude palette and don't want to have to spend the money for the Lorac Pro or the Urban Decay palette. This is a really good alternative. Now you do need to work with the shadows a little bit, and I would stress using a primer. I will continue to use this palette and see how it works out long term, but for the most part I had a lot of fun using it, and it was easy to blend. Like I said, I did do this eye look using the palette, and I thought it turned out quite nicely. It's really, really pretty, and yeah. It was easy to smoke out the eyes. I was happy with the way that it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want me to do an in-depth tutorial. If you want me to do a tutorial on the eye look that I am currently wearing, I will be more than happy to post that for you guys. Until next time, bye.